Hello, this is CurtisCroweThePhotoPro here, and guess what? It's fall time. You know what that means? Fall photos, the harvest, Halloween, a bunch of really great things. Now, being this is the season of the spooky and the creepy crawlies, today we're going to talk about something that sounds a bit paranormal. Now, it doesn't matter whether you believe in ghosts for this video or not. Today what we're going to talk about is ghostly images and photos. Now, a lot of people, especially the people that don't believe in ghosts, think it's all Photoshop, smoke, mirrors, stuff like that. But us as photographers know there are perfectly sound explanations for some ghostly images. Now, I was sent an image and I was asked, Curtis, what could have caused this to happen? This is a photo in which it's a wedding and there's obviously a blur on the right hand side, and they wanted to know is like, hey, there was nobody there when the photo was taken. How could this have happened? And what causes this is, if you know from my previous video, motion blur is something that can be a very desired look, but can also be a very undesiring look, because whatever is in motion when the sensor is being exposed becomes blurred out. Things like water can look very desirable. Things like people do not. The original photo taker or photographer thought it was a guy because it looks like a muscle shirt, shorts, and no shoes. To me, this looks like a woman. The reason why is because the gray that you see here goes above the knee, and there are ripples going across the hips, which is something you more or less see in skirts. And it's all the same color going all the way through, and I'm not being critical to guys, but typically guys will not match the same color shirt with the same color pants, but a lot of girls will match the same color skirt with the same color top. And women wear a lot of sleeveless tops. It's very common. Where guys, though it is possible, there are muscle shirts, guys do not typically wear muscle shirts, especially nowadays. We like our sleeves, we like our long sleeves, we like our hipster looks, we like our whatever. So what I see here is a lady in a gray dress, or maybe even skirt and top, and she's just walking across. And when the photographer took the photo, probably lined up, went to take the photo, that person's walking across. By the time they look down, look back up, it's like, oh, okay, there's nobody there. Or they weren't real specific. They could have taken the photo, didn't notice anything until after they got home. And of course, they're not going to remember somebody walking by at the time. So that kind of gives them that spooky feeling. As far as the foot goes, in my experience shooting weddings, I see a lot of girls take off their shoes. They're in high heels all day. They don't want to be dancing in high heels. A lot of them take them off or switch to flats. And the reason why the foot is the sharpest thing is because when you're doing your stride, one foot doesn't really move during the stride, where the other one does all the motion, then that one plants down, and then your other foot does all the motion, then plants down, and you get a motion. But really only one foot moves dramatically at one time. So when the sensor opens up, burns in that light, being the foot doesn't move much, the foot comes in much sharper than the rest of the body. And when you're indoors, you're very limited on light, especially on a dance floor or something like that. It's usually not very well lit. And then you have your cell phone or professional camera, doesn't matter which, this rule applies to both. When there isn't enough light to go into the camera, you have to lower your shutter speed in order to boost up that light, allow more exposure to come in. Again, this is just a classic case of motion blur. It's not a ghostly apparition, it's not a poltergeist, you have nothing to be worried about, this place is not haunted. But if you would like to go ahead and share your personal experiences, do you have any spooky, slow exposures that you'd like to go ahead and share? Go ahead and leave a comment down below. Feel free to send us links in order to see these images. And comment down below if you'd like me to replicate an image like this for your guys' personal entertainment and edumacation. Now, as always, this has been Curtis Crowe, the Photo Pro. And as I always do, toodles. So that's what we're actually photographing. 3/20th of a second, f/16 at ISO 100. This is my first time doing a sunrise. The difficult part about how your camera processes your RAW file. A lot of us think, yes, RAW files. It's exactly what the sensor sees and nothing. Now, this isn't something I recommend doing on an import as much as right before you export.